Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Token Tank. On every episode of Token Tank, we invite a promising blockchain and crypto company onto our show to pitch their project to a panel of experts. Our panelists are focused solely on asking great questions to project founders so that our viewers will be able to make their own judgment calls. So today's panel includes Cryptonauts, your pilots of the spaceship of crypto, Chico Crypto, the man with a passion for tech and beer, the Crypto Lark, crypto's answer to Ned Flanders, and of course myself, your host for the day, the hungriest zombie in crypto land. And of course, I want to introduce our special guest today, Jun Li from Ontology. How's it going?
Hi.
Hey, Jun.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you on today. So I'm just going to start us off with the elevator pitch, nice and simple today. So for everyone who doesn't know exactly, what is Ontology?
Okay, Ontology is a new public chain platform infrastructure, and above that, have another platform called Distributed Trust Cooperative Platform. They include many common modules like the decentralized identity and the data exchange protocol and the reputation system module. All those modules is for build a bridge, link to support a real business scenario, even support different legal system in different areas. So that means simply is Ontology is a blockchain platform, public platform to support a real business scenario running on decentralized service.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So let's jump right into the panelists. So first question, let's go, guys. Let's dive right in.
Chico, it's on you.
All right. So my question is regarding the Trionis consensus node program. You need to own at least 100K, 100,000 Ontology to be even considered as a candidate for one of the nodes. Yeah. Is there going to be a reduction in the amount, an increase in the future, or is that number 100K going to stay the same?
This is currently the baseline for as a consensus nodes. But if you mention our consensus mechanism welcome to every individuals, even you just a few token, for example, 10 sovereigns or even 1,000, we will open the consensus mechanism for individuals soon. You can post your token and to on the smart contract, and you will got a reward from the ONT, the gas will be rewarded to you according to your token locked and joined to the consensus mechanism. And you can choose different nodes you want to support for that. You put your token and support your nodes, and also you can apply as a nodes as well. Why we set a baseline for the 100,000 is one to link if they have do some wrong things during the consensus process, we can get the penalty for them for the different nodes, and for that reason. And all the nodes and every individual is totally open for long term, not one time. Every time you can join for the consensus mechanism, or you can out, depend on what you want to put your token to join this process. And unlike we have a dual token, ONT and ONG, but the ONG token be consumed on Ontology platform only will be reward for those people joining the consensus mechanism. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I'm really interested in Ontology. I think it's a very great project, but when I start to look at all the trust relationships that come in blockchain, and obviously with the Ontology ID and all these different things, I wanted to ask you, what are the key challenges in coding for trust in complex relationships?
That's a good question.
Okay. You mean the trust? Okay, pardon, I mean repeat your question. You mean how to build the real scenario, or the building the infrastructure? Is that means?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the infrastructure, how are you actually bringing this all together so that we have this system where so many different complex relationships can happen in a trusted way, or I guess in a trustless manner in this sense?
Yeah. Actually, we have mentioned, have explained that in our white paper and our currently module design. The trust from a different source. Some trust is based on technology, like the Bitcoin, you use a private key to build the trust. Some trust is from the centralized source, like government or like the big company. Another trust source is from people by people and from your friends, from the community. So Ontology, the dispute trust platform, is one to integrate it to those kind of different trust source or categories. And people can use Ontology as a tool and platform to manage their trust source, manage their data, manage their verification source. Maybe some source is from centralized government, maybe some from their friends. Some maybe is from the technical. For example, I have a private key, I have a Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ontology account. I can prove that it belongs to me. All those trusts can integrate it under the Ontology, the dispute identity framework. So that is, and people can build their own trust package, and they can use the package to prove themselves in different scenario, in different area.
I suppose it's tricky in terms of can you trust the centralized governments, and it does become a little bit tricky because you have information sources that may not always be providing trusted information, and I'm not just putting that to governments, but corporations as well.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Also, the other thing too is as far as Ontology's relationship to the Chinese government, are they supportive of your project? Are there any connections and partnerships there? What does it look like in general? Are you guys going to have a platform for ICOs, and how will that be regulated if so?
Good question.
Okay. That means Ontology have not done any ICO for individual investor. So this is just because the regulation. Not only China, actually, other countries also have those kind of issues. And Ontology have two ways for the dispute, do the token distribution. One is for the core builder solution. Core builder is not kind of investor. All those core builder need to private their contribution for Ontology ecosystem. For example, they need to link their portfolio, their business Ontology doing, or other kind of contribution for that. Their allocation is based on their contribution for that. And another way we have the airdrop, of course, for the individual, for our community. Actually, we already the airdrops main tokens in the first round. And so that means we are totally have follow the regulation, not only in China, actually globally. That also help us is possible to support for the government's public service. If government needs some public service to private to the public, they also need a kind of decentralized platform. And not only their central IT system, sometimes they need a decentralized platform to do the cooperation or collaboration with other IT system and other companies or individual citizens. I think Ontology have a chance to support those kind of public service. And for our team, in the past 2 years, we have done many the solution, blockchain solutions and the product for the government public service in China, like the manager, the dispute identity, and those kind of technical service. We hope those kind of experience and product will help Ontology platform to be more good service for this part. Yeah.
Cool. So I have a question. There's some rumors that I've been hearing. So this is for you, Li Jun. So what is the relationship?
Crypto always likes the controversy.
I do. I have to do it. I stand for the people. I stand by myself or for the people, the community. And so I've heard a lot of rumors about everyone from NEO moving over to Ontology. So what's going to happen to NEO if that is true, or what is the relationship between Ontology and NEO exactly?
Okay, I guess this is a total misunderstanding because people link the on-chain. Do you know on-chain, the company?
Yeah.
With NEO together. Actually, Ontology team is always from on-chain, the technical company. That is also one of the earliest technical company in China. And NEO actually is a community-based project, more community-based. So most NEO technical force is from community like COZ or the other kind of global community. Ontology already have the technical community, but not so big right now. Many people already join our contribution, technical contribution. But the important force right now is from on-chain. So all those team members actually belong to on-chain, not Neo. People think about that just because, okay, they think on-chain is Neo is same team, but actually it's not. Yeah.
Okay. So is there a chance that one day on-chain might move on away from Ontology onto another project, and then so it'll be Neo Ontology and then another project, and then it'll be gone?
We have a promise for the community. Ontology will be the only public chain project from on-chain. We will not have any other the public blockchain service. On-chain maybe will provide other infrastructure service, but not public blockchain. And all those kind of service will help for the Ontology ecosystem. But for public blockchain, Ontology is only one from on-chain. Yeah.
Great.
Are we going to see some kind of development force come in like we have City of Zion for Neo? Is there anyone kind of building that community right now for Ontology? Will it be City of Ontology or something like this coming?
Yes. If you to our website, ONT.io, you can see our technical community already launched. We have a lot of the program tasking for the community, and many people apply client those tasks, and they already begin to do that because Ontology have already built the technical community in the Discord and a lot of discussion, and Ontology have allocated the 10% token, all is for technical community. There were not all the totally open and transparent for the technical community who contribute something and got what kind of a reward, all will be open. They just store, but I guess will have more and more technical members join the community. Yeah.
That's actually really great to hear because community is so important. And personally, when I first got into crypto, the thing that really drew me to Neo was their sense of community, was their sense of having all these different developers, really helping them out. Because let's be honest, to push something like this forward, you're going to need a lot of people, a big team, and a lot of dedicated man hours and time. So that's definitely really great to hear. I wanted to shift the conversation a little bit. I know the community had some kind of really on the surface concerns, as far as your wallets and things like that. And I think Tyler specifically, you had some questions as well. So involving the ledger, and what were those that we were speaking about earlier?
Oh, well, big question I have is about ledger integration with Ontology. I was one of the people who held my large stack of Neo on my ledger. So I got the first half of the Ontology airdrop, but my Neo is still on my ledger, as well as my Ontology, because it is a large amount and I don't feel comfortable taking it off of an exchange. So my question is, when is ledger integration coming?
Okay, the ledger integration coming will in 1 month or 2 months. I guess it's 1 month. This will be finished. Currently we are connected. We already do a lot of integration and discussion with ledger. We are doing for that right now, and we will push that with very high priority task. We will try to support that as soon as possible, and also include other hardware wallet as well. Yeah.
Kind of piggybacking on top of that same question, Tyler, also members of my community were curious about when you guys were going to be rolling out a desktop wallet. Is that in the near future?
The O wallet, I think it's called.
Or Mac.
Yeah, O wallet will be released the first version maybe in 2 weeks, at least in this month, definitely. Yeah, we will try to. The wallet includes the you can transfer and manage your account, and also includes the multiple signature features as well. So, and we will continually to improve the wallet's future functionalities. Yeah, they will be done in 2 weeks and by the end of this month. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Those are questions from the community, by the way. So thanks for everybody that actually had those questions on the Twitter earlier. So I appreciate that.
Okay.
I wanted to ask I guess a business strategy question. Right now, there are so many blockchain projects. It's actually getting kind of crazy. And so with so many blockchain projects out there, I want to imagine this situation. Just think of that I'm a Fortune 500 company. How are you planning on selling Ontology to these big companies? What are you going to go in and say, hey, we can offer you this, this, and this that the other guys can't?
Okay. Several kind of strategy or advantage from ontology. One is just to mention ontology is multiple public blockchain. That means there's only one single public blockchain with a stable mechanism or consensus module. We can support those kind of big company, even government, to do a customized sub-blockchain ontology chain network. Actually, currently we are doing that right now for a very big China company and for those kind of supply chain. That means we can meet their specific requirements in different industry or the public service. Another way is just from a technical technical field. If you compile with ontology's performance and the modularized and the frameworks, ontology also is one of top public blockchain right now, if you compare with other US or other countries. So the technology also is strong. If you review currently this year, all the new public chain project owning ontology is launched mainnet, first version mainnet on time. That already prove our engineering the capability, and also included the security and other kind of things we have proved. Since ontology is one of the largest team in public blockchain, not only China, globally, it's nearly 100 teams, and also not only technical teams, and include the solution teams, consulting teams. They can help different industry or real scenario to help them design the decentralized service for this kind of support. And so that is an advantage for that. We will engage directly to the big company and government and the financial institutions to build service ontology. Also, we welcome, this is way,
So expanding on that question really quick, will you have like a consulting firm for the states which will explain the blockchain as a service model? We can build this public chain for you or a private chain. Is that going to be in the roadmap for the future, especially for like the global markets, United States, Europe?
Yeah, you mean that is in our plan and the roadmap. In this year, and actually it's maybe in this quarter, we will build our local team in United States, Japan, and Korea, and maybe it's Southeast Asia. They will build the local teams. And
all the hottest markets.
Yeah. Besides that, we already kick off our the global partnership the program. Already have many part-time partners in different country areas. Is help support for that one. And also, just to mention, we will open the office in United States, Japan, and Korea. Yeah.
Nice. You said that just to piggyback off that, you said you guys are working with a lot of big corporations right now. You're working with some Chinese companies. Do you mind naming them?
We will announce soon, but I cannot name it right now.
NDA.
But that is not that is not a POC. It's real production, and we're running on ontology platform.
Okay.
I have a question, kind of like how you plan on rolling this out to the market. There's so many enterprises out there that, things work fine already, and basically, if it's not cheaper, faster, more secure, they're not interested. So what is your strategy of getting these businesses to adopt your ID services or other things? Like if I was a Fortune 500 company, how would you sell me ontology essentially?
Yeah, one thing is we not only is kind of ID service. We are not an ID service. We are framework. That means if your service, your decentralized service, will involve different business process and different partners, decentralized identity framework will really help you. But that is only one module, one of parts of the infrastructure. You also need a decentralized infrastructure like a blockchain platform, and just I mentioned distributed data exchange protocol and the reputation modules, and also include the contract, electronic contract service decentralized way. So that is how different modules and infrastructure work together can support your decentralized service, not only in one modules. So that is ontology can private. And compare with other public chain, we have a promise for our partners. We will provide the long-term support and maintain for their service running on ontology. That means we can private the SLA, just a service level agreement. That is, they cannot be supported from EOS or Ethereum because they actually don't know what kind of application running it. But Ontology for almost important partner, we will private this kind of service. They can run the real public production service on Ontology. Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit of a common misconception then, because people still tend to think that you guys are going to compete with things of the likes of Self-Key and Civic and all these other ID adapts out there, but you're not, essentially. So that needs to be made clear.
Yeah. Identity is one of our fundamental service, but not a whole ontology. But our ontology is kind of framework. They can link the verification service can private list their service ontology framework. Ontology is kind of connector. They connect different verification service. The verification service can from some centralized service like government or decentralized service like, for example, the Civic or the other kind of identity. Also can from every individual. You can as a service verification service provider to help for your friends or the other your family or your workmates. So ontology is connection or marketplace for all the verification service. But people can use that to manage their trust package or data source. Yeah.
Interesting. So you're saying that I could start, if I were to start a company with these guys here with, Zombie, Lark, and 5, we can put our own, passports up or our verification up, and then we can have our own company to just trust just privately.
Yeah.
Right.
Even you can link your Bitcoin or Ethereum account. If some scenario is necessary, you can prove those kind of account belong to you by yourself. And you can protect your privacy as well. You can decide, okay, I want to private or not my data source or verification for you.
Wow.
So everyone can choose their own trust source. Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool.
So a question I have regarding, this has been bugging me with a lot of the projects coming out of China. So there are over 500 smart city programs in China where the government is subsidizing, subsidizing the projects if they're targeting operational effectiveness and resource optimization. So projects like VeChain and Walton have said they are part of these smart city programs. Is Ontology part of any? If they are, which ones? And if not, are these smart city programs just really blown out of proportion and it doesn't mean that much?
Okay. Smart city is just kind of for the plan. It's planning. It's not a real projects right now. So you can see actually smart city have to do a lot of things. And Ontology is talking with governments for some the cooperation and to the technical support, because all the smart city projects still not kicked off right now.
Yes.
So it's just of planning. Ontology will follow that, but after they are really becoming real product, we will try to engage those kind of projects. Yeah. But we have confidence about this. We are one of the strong and the great product platform to support this kind of service. Yeah.
Nice. That's a good question, Chico. I liked it. I wanted to jump in on the question of interoperability, because this is such a buzzword right now, and everyone in the Ethereum community, interoperable with this and interoperable with that. To what extent is Ontology going to be interoperable with other chains? Is the focus solely on Neo interoperability, or will we see Ontology interoperability with the Bitcoin chain, with the Ethereum chain, and others?
Okay. For the interoperability for Ontology strategies, we think we cannot only use one protocol to support all the kind of interaction between chains. So Ontology have the multiple strategies about that. The interaction between the chains need protocol groups. For example, sometimes the interaction is kind of identity mapping or account mapping. Sometimes it's digital assets exchange, or sometimes need to involve in the consensus mechanism or process. So Ontology currently already done two kinds of protocol. One is identity mapping in different blockchain, we can use our identity framework to support those kind of interaction. Another way is to the digital assets. Our ONT or ONG can be supported or be used in different sub-blockchain as well. Actually, the protocol also can support if you have another blockchain like Ethereum, also can follow this kind of protocol to use Ontology token as well. And currently, we also is in investigation and for the consensus level, the interchain protocol. We also design our own protocol. Also in investigation about the protocol like the Proctor or the other kind of protocols. They can support the consensus process in different blockchain. That means we not only design our own blockchain protocol, also support the other blockchains protocol. That means you can choose different protocols to do the interaction depending on your scenarios. Yeah.
So essentially, it has a little bit of an agnostic approach to things, where you could be utilized on multiple chains, then, or no?
Yeah. That means Ontology can support different protocols. Some protocols is designed by ourselves. Some protocols may be from other famous project. If they have been used in large scope, Ontology will try to support that and to do the interaction.
Okay, Jun. So you were speaking a little bit on consensus, and we follow Neo, and they do have the delegated Byzantine fault tolerance, but you guys are choosing to go with a vBFT. Can you explain why this is a superior consensus model in your opinion?
Okay, vBFT actually is integrated the depose and the VIF. VIF is verifiable random functionality, and also use BFT for the finality for that part. And this consensus model, the benefits is they can support large consensus mechanism, or that means they can support the thousands nodes to join the consensus process, but they still can keep quite high performance for the consensus process. So we want to choose this way is to find the balance between decentralized and the performance. As you know, the decentralized level and performance sometimes you want to get this one and maybe lost another one, and we want to try to find a balance between that. So based on our testing right now, the vBFT can support thousands nodes, and also can current TPS already reached more than the 50,000 TPS just in
15,000 TPS.
Yeah, 50,000 TPS in one single network.
50? Wow.
And
that's fast.
That was so incredible that the internet blew up.
Did you say 50K? He said 50K?
Yeah.
He said 50K.
No way. That's crazy.
Fast. That's fast.
You got 10G though.
All right, so let's. All right, so all right, I'm going to start the timer again. All right, so. All right.
I got
sorry,
one.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We literally blew up the internet, but we're back. We lost connection, so we have Jun Li back with us. Does anyone else on the panel have any other questions that they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got one.
Tyler, go for it.
One more. This is a tech question because I do love the tech. So could you explain Ontology nodes, Oracle nodes, and Ontology smart contracts on those oracles and how they're decentralized?
Yeah.
Consensus, the vBFT consensus process or mechanism can support thousands nodes joining the consensus model as well. That means we can support the quite decentralized level for the consensus mechanism. Besides that, we also open all the individual to join the consensus mechanism. Just as I mentioned, they can put their token and put their token for some kind of nodes and join the consensus models and got rewards from the consensus process. That means also we can involve all the individuals to put their token to join the consensus model. Maybe sometimes they can lock the liquidity as well sometimes. So that means Ontology can support quite decentralized the ways, always transparent for this way. And since our consensus model, even so many nodes join the consensus mechanism, we still can keep a quite high performance to running the blockchain service.
Hmm. That's awesome to hear. Thank you for that. So, guys, we are a little bit running out of time right now. We only have a few minutes left. So if anybody has any final questions that they definitely would like to ask, now would be the time. Captain, any questions?
Yeah, last one. So since there's so many Chinese-based crypto teams right now, what is happening over with the regulation, and when do you think the government will step in and be like, okay, this is regulation time, this is reality, you can't do this?
Okay. Actually, Ontology is a global project. Maybe it's created from China, but it's global, and the foundation also is not in China actually. And even in China, we actually already follow all the regulation from China. Because we haven't do any the individual ICO or the other kind of things. We all follow the regulation and also build a good relationship with government. Not only China, even the other company. We will have another the meetup with Japanese government or the enterprise in this month as well. You will get the information soon. So that is Ontology what you want to do. Just what we mentioned, we want to support a real business scenario. That means we will follow regulation in different areas to private our service. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really good, because a lot of companies out there, they don't care about that. And in order for adoption to happen, we need to have some sort of teamwork. We need to have some people to actually.
Yeah, it's I agree.
If you want, yeah.
No, go ahead, Jun. Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to one note is, if you want to support, you want to let the blockchain infrastructure as a mainstream infrastructure, you have to support a real business scenario. That means you cannot skip all the legal system or the regulation. You need to follow that. But to follow regulation not means you have no transparency. We still keep transparent for all community. What we are doing, what kind of token distributed, what kind of technology background, and all the code will be open sourced for the community as well.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a tricky, slippery slope. Everybody wants everything 100% decentralized, but in reality, there has to be at least minimally some form of compliance, regulatory standards and things of that nature if we want to move this thing forward. Absolutely. So that about brings us to the end of the episode. So Jun Li, is there anything that you kind of want to say you'd like to leave us with before we go?
Yeah, to the whole audience, what would you say?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Is Ontology have a very big teams, and we have a promise to run Ontology in a very long terms. And also we also not talking communities, and we hope our supporter and the technical community and work together with us in the long term, build a world-class platform in the long term. Yeah, Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jun Li. And, despite all the technical difficulties that we had today, it still was an honor to have you on. I appreciate you coming on the channel.
Yes.
Now, it's no longer up to us. It's up to you, the audience, to decide if Ontology is a whale of a project or if it'll sink to the bottom like a guppy. Let us know in the comments section down below. And stay tuned and catch us next time on Token Tank. See you soon.